Hi there, this is Amanda Frankel with Our Crafty Playdate, and forgive me, again, it has been a long time since I've posted, but I have had a couple of projects lately from the new catalog, and I really wanted to show them to you. So simple, seriously, 5-minute cards. So the video will be a little longer than 5 minutes because I want to show you a couple of cool features, but I want to get you started. So let me show you what I'm talking about when I say new catalog. This is the new occasions catalog. And what that means is it's full of things for special occasions. Mother's Day, Father's Day, and of course, Valentine's Day. And I love Valentine's Day. There's some birthday, and I love this one. Isn't that cute? Here's some Father's Day. Look at this. Back in the back. Okay, not that far back. All right, well, anyway, there's Father's Day. You'll have to trust me, and you'll have to watch for more videos on that. But in the meantime, it is almost the day of love, and so I wanted to make something that was Valentine's-y, but not too over-the-top Valentine's. So I made this card, and I want to show you some cool features with it. So first, to start you off, let me show you the paper that I'm using. I am using this paper here. This is the All My Love Designer Series paper, and I will tell you straight up, the pictures of our Designer Series paper in our catalogs never shows it in the best light. Well, I don't just mean in the best light, like my video, which is not also the best light, but I just am saying it's really hard to tell how gorgeous this really is unless you're seeing it kind of in person. So I'm going to flip through real quick. You get 2 sheets each of each style, and the great thing about this particular paper is the color is super Valentine's, but the patterns are not over-the-top Valentine's, and they've gotten really good lately, Stampin' Up!, at with their Designer Series paper. When it is a special occasion paper, often one side will be the holiday and the other side is generic enough that you really honestly could use it for some other holiday. Like this is super hearty, right? So it is all about Valentine's Day. Well, that one actually is too. Okay, for the most part, that's true. So that one particular page, less so. The one I wanted to show you, of course. But I love that paper. It's got a lot of great colors in it. It comes in this suite, so it matches a lot of the different flowers and things. They do have framelits that go with it, along with hearts and such. They have epoxy drops, which are just clear plastic. I don't think you can see those in that picture. Clear plastic epoxy little hearts. You can actually color those in with your alcohol-based markers, which are your Stampin' Blends. So if you want to match some up, matchy match, you color them right on the plastic with this kind of marker, and then let it dry, and it will be a pink item. You can do that with this kind of pen or a Sharpie. You don't want to do it with your regular Stampin' Write markers. It'll just smear off and make a mess on your card. But anyway, so I did want to show you that. So that's the paper that I'm using here. The stamp set that I'm using, I'm showing you all the stuff first off, is this one, this Amazing Life. And I thought for sure my very favorite stamp in here was going to be this one, this Life's Too Short to Say No to Cake, because I believe that is absolutely a fact. But this one is great. It's a big, bold image, so it works really well on a card as the main and only feature. So look what I've done here. Super simple. It is one stamp, one color of ink for my sentiment. I do have a framelit here, and I'm going to hold this really close so you can see the little stitch lines in this. These framelits are brand new to us. They are the rectangle, let's see what they actually call them. I think it's rectangle stitched framelit dies. There are 13 in the set, and they all nest. So I have a couple pulled out right here because I'm doing projects. You can see that these all fit together. But it comes with 13 in here, so you really can nest just about anything you want. These are great for sentiments, and then these are good for frames. And another very super cool thing, there are a lot of cool things about these framelits, but this is on all of our framelits now. It does have the item number. So for example, if you find one of these later on the floor, you forgot to put it away with the rest of your things and you're not sure what set it goes with, this one should be pretty clear, but this is on all of our framelits. So if you find a little tiny flower framelit, you may not be sure where it goes to, what set it goes with. The number is going to be printed right on here, and it's right here. So that's at 8551. 148551. See it right there? So you'll be able to put it right back with the right set. next cool thing about this framelit, I'm going to hold it really close just so that it goes out of focus for you, is there's a stitch line on the inside, and then the cut line, and then a stitch line on the outside. And what that does is it has printed the stitch line here on this piece that it cut out. Look, this is the piece that it cut out. You can see the stitch line on the inside of this. So this piece works well. You can use it with something else. This piece works well, and it gives you the same detail. So now this piece that I cut out, I was playing with it. I thought, how cool. I could color it with my Stampin' Blends. I could just color a couple of flowers. So I just got started to kind of see how it would look, and it's gorgeous. I love it. So you could definitely color on this piece too, which is awesome. Or you can leave it in just the monochromatic kind of thing, which also looks great. But you get the detail on both the inside and the outside of the cut line. So it really gives you a good positive and a good negative because you've got the stitch line. So how cool is that? Let's get started. I never, ever, ever use my Big Shot here because it makes the table shake and then it makes your camera shake. But I'm going to today because I want to show you with this framelit how you're going to do your sandwich. Let me get this ready here for you. Okay. All right, here we go. So this is the panel, and it's just a standard sized panel that I cut. So if your standard card base starts out as an 8.5 by 11 cut in half, look, this is half of an 8.5 by 11, right? And then scored. So it's now, this whole piece right here is 5.5 by, this whole piece right here is 8.5 by 5.5. So folded, it's 4 1/4 by 5. So this piece right here is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. I know, sounds confusing. I'm going to put the measurements here. It's just a standard size panel. And I'm going to cut the white for underneath it same size because it makes my life easy. And the inside, which I have not put in here because I use this for a class. Actually, it's Stampin' Bingo, so fun. But it's just going to be a solid white. And so if I just cut 2 of them, that's a half piece of paper. So if I cut 4 of them, I can do the inside and outside of 2 pieces. And this, when I take an 8.5 by 11 and cut it in half, it's 2 cards. So literally I can just walk away with 2 cards straight away. Okay, this is my normal size panel. This is the way that my sandwich is going to look. So it is my Big Shot platform. This comes with your Big Shot. So does this. This is the thin die adapter. These are framelit pictures. So this is how you're going to put this in here, right? Then you're going to put in a cutting mat. This one is super disreputable. You can tell that I love my stuff. I love it to pieces, literally. Okay, then I'm going to put my thing on here, my panel of my designer series paper, and I'm going to eyeball it because that's just the way I roll. I'm not much of a, I'm being a little finicky. When you get it the way you want it, a good way to kind of hold it in place while you go to cut it, if you're not using a magnetic platform, if you're cutting like this and you don't want to use your magnetic platform, is just take a Post-it note and stick it over it. See, this is the sticky part of the Post-it note, and it's going to hold that die in place. I'm going to put my clear top one on top, and I'm just going to run it through. And see, this is why I don't do it. Ooh, sorry about the shaky. This is why I don't cut in front of you. But I wanted to show you how to use a Post-it note on that if you're not using your magnetic platform. If you are, then you don't need this thin die adapter part, right? You would replace that with your magnetic platform. But sometimes, if you're doing particularly small framelits or thinlits, they kind of hop to where the magnet is, and so it makes it kind of hard to keep it straight. Once you've done this, you can get your Big Shot out of the way. I don't have to go to the gym now. I've lifted my Big Shot. All right, and it just pops right out like that. You can see that it's made that thin stitch detail right here along the inside. Then I still have this piece. I'm going to pull that out, and I am saving that card for later. You know, I could literally make the second card. Remember how I was talking about a second card? I could literally, you know, do something like this and then do a little white panel and put something on there on the sentiment on top, and it would be also adorable. Okay, so that's this piece. I'm going to grab my Lovely Lipstick. This is one of our new in colors called Lovely Lipstick, which is just such a cute name, but as one of my class attendees pointed out tonight, it would not be a lovely lipstick color on her. So I guess lovely is really just up to the individual, right? I like it, but I don't know if I could wear it as lipstick, so. But it's a good color. All right, so these are my regular white panels. By the way, I just cut a whole bunch at the same time. I will literally sit and cut a whole pack of white paper because I know that that's a very standard size and I'm going to use it a lot. I'm just going to lay this out a little bit like this. Actually, I don't even need that piece right now. I'm going to put this under here. I didn't even show you the back of this awesome paper, right? This awesome paper. Look, hearty heart, heart. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this out like this. It's going to go right on top. And now I can go ahead and stamp because now I know right where it's going to fit. The stamp set that I'm using is Amazing Life. It's this one right here. This is the one with the Life's Too Short to Say No to Cake, which is, I think that's a good life philosophy. My stamp did get stained a little bit today. Generally speaking, when I'm going to use a really super ultra saturated color, like Lovely Lipstick or one of the other reds or purples, I am going to put Versamark on my stamp first. So I just open up my Versamark, put my stamp in it, get a good coating, and then put away my Versamark, done, and I get out my Lovely Lipstick and I do it then. And that helps keep it from, it just kind of puts a protective layer between your ink and your stamp. However, I did not do that today before the class, so we just went straight on into the Lovely Lipstick, and it does stain. It still works exactly the same way, and it still cleans up really well. So we don't really have to worry about it. You know, now if I put it in blue before I put it in my red right now, if I just put it straight in blue, it's not going to pollute my ink thing. It was clean. Okay, so now I can know right where I need to put it because I've laid it out here, just so. And I'm going to stamp down. Now you see that I am using a Stampin' Pierce mat, and the reason that I'm doing that is because this is one of our photopolymer stamps. And you'll be hearing me in videos talk a lot about Perfect Image. I love this image because it's got a lot of really solid places, and that's where our ink pads really shine, these firm foam ink pads. They give a really nice solid image. But photopolymer stamps are these see-through ones, not to be confused with Clearmount. They are photopolymer. And since we are doing away with wood, you'll be hearing me talk a lot about these. If they're not red rubber, so if you can see all the way through them, you need to use a mat, okay? If you don't have one of these mats at home, you can use a mouse pad, but do yourself a favor and just get the right tool for the right job, and then you don't have to worry about that. Okay, I am going to use my Mono liquid glue because it is my favorite glue, and it doesn't require a lot. Some people are really snailaholics and they like the tape runner. I'm just not a super huge fan. It really depends on your preference, but the reason that I'm not is I sometimes put it down just a little crooked, and then the liquid glue gives me an opportunity to kind of move it around so I don't have that problem. And now I'm going to put my framelits on the back, or my things on the back. This paper does to me have an upside and a downside. So to me, that looks like it's upright, and that looks like it's hanging upside down. So when I go to put my frame on, I want to make sure that I've got it facing up and not, that would be facing down. So that would be the up, okay, which makes sense because that's how the hearts are up. And you do not want to super skinch on dimensionals. They are not expensive, people. I don't need one there really, but I am going to put one in the big long middle. They're not expensive, and it's going to make a big difference if you don't end up with a saggy part of your card, right? You just don't want to. And if it's bothering you here, you can always just stick them in there, and nobody is going to know or complain that you've done it. And I'm going to just tear a little piece off. Put that one there. And if you have a hard time getting these papers off, sometimes they're hard to get off, sometimes they're easy. If you have a hard time, just stab it. Stab it with your fingernail, and it'll come right off. Stab and lift. And throw them on the floor to sweep up later, or kick under the table, which is my preferred method until I have a class and I have to sweep. I do sweep for my classes, bless their hearts. Okay, so that's it. I'm just going to lay this down. I'm going to, as carefully as possible, put this right on top of my white. And there it goes. It's ready to go in the mail. Now, I would, of course, add a layer of white on the inside to write because it just gives it a more finished look. So I'm going to just glue that in there. Actually, I can do that right in front of you while I'm talking to you. So as I said, it is time right now for the Occasions catalog. I'll put that here so you can see it. It goes through, yeah, I'm not really sure. I want to say, okay, goes through June 3rd. There you go. And some of the stuff, though, is already in here. Some of the stuff is already on back order, even though this just started at the beginning of January. Can you believe it? So if there is something in there that you really love and you know you want it, do yourself a favor and just get it. Ta-da! You want to do that for 2 reasons. See, lovely lipstick and lovely nail polish. I like it. You want to do that for 2 reasons. One, because you should just get it when the iron's hot and while we still have it. But the second reason is it is celebration time right now. And celebration means with every $50 purchase, you get to pick some wonderful thing out of this catalog. So you could pick this adorable stamp set, which I will be doing a video for you soon too. We are out of this ribbon already. I think it's completely not orderable. But this paper is great, and I'll show this in another video, so be sure that you click the little bell. I know a lot of you have subscribed, and thank you to my new subscribers, but click the little bell here also on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook right now, be sure you also check out YouTube and hit subscribe just in case I don't move it over, so that you don't miss any of these videos. But I'll show that paper up close because, like I said, it doesn't really photograph super well. Home to Roost, which actually looks really good with the coppers and the browns, and you can color it. It looks great. And who doesn't love frogs? So there are lots of things in here you can choose from. With a $50 purchase, you can get almost anything in here. A couple of the items in the back you can only get with a $100 purchase, but they are worth it. So definitely check it out. And if you got the paper and the stamp set and the framelits, you would be just a little bit of cardstock and glue away from $100, and you'd be able to get some stuff for free. So thank you very much for stopping by. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours. If you do, be sure that you support them. These are small business people, and we really appreciate all the sales. Thank you so much for coming by, and be sure again to subscribe. Have a great day. Bye-bye.